if you would help people who are not speaking to turn off their videos and turn off their audio in Zoom. In GatherTown, if you've decided to go over there and play, we'd encourage you to come back. I don't see too many people over there right now. But know if you've got your audio on in Zoom and you're sitting in the same room, but with GatherTown nearby, we'll hear both. So we're going to turn everyone's audio off here in Zoom so we don't have any crosstalk. And for bandwidth, we're going to turn off videos of everybody except for our speakers. So thank you for doing that. I'll probably repeat that a couple more times. So now I'm going to close out some windows, which I can't see then what's going on there, Lori, and you'll keep an idea for us, right? Okay, so let me go over to the slide deck, and I'll talk a little bit about how this topic came to be, but you're here at our online jam session. This is not the first time we've done a remote virtual event. 2 years ago, before anybody even knew what COVID would be, we had a 2-day meeting, typical to the 2-day meetings we would have had in person, but we chose to do it online. And we learned a lot about that. One is 2 days is too long. 1 day is actually too long, which is why we're doing a half a day. And after that 2-day event in 2018, we also heard very strongly that our members love networking. So don't do that again. Let's bring us all together. So from that point forward, we've been having physical meetings, and we had one, thank you, Milliken, in South Carolina in February. We timed that just right before we all had to go home. And now we're in a position where we probably can't get together. So we've been able to practice with all this technology, and here we are in this jam session. I'm gonna go to the next slide. So who are we that you've joined? We are ISBM, and we were founded in 1982 at Penn State. It was a collection of a few B2B companies that were looking to get better at what they do in terms of marketing, and some leading academics, not all of them at Penn State. And the idea and the purpose was to advance the science of B2B marketing. Our purpose, our reason for existing, is to accelerate the development and adoption of innovation and marketing best practices. That is, we identify them, we find them, we develop them, and then we share them with our member companies. So what we want to be for you is the premier organization for connecting you, the B2B marketing professionals, with thought leaders, educators, and academic researchers, which is what we're trying to do today too. And B2B is about 65% of the global economy. And if you come and listen to Bob Fry talk, you'll learn all about that part of the economy and how important it is. And yet, almost all of the research in marketing is in the consumer space, which is why we support this. We're the only organization that's wholly dedicated to B2B marketing. We have a lot of member firms. You may find yourself in this list. We really greatly appreciate the support of all of our firms, and we hope to continue to grow. We have over 30 ISBM fellows. You can find the list on our website, isbm.com, and our sister site, isbm.org. That is the academic version. Fellows are named after a great consideration, and many fellows teach for us, and you can take classes with them. So I encourage you to take a look at that. This is the team that works for you. I'm Lynn Yanyo, and that's my really better picture at the top left. Since 2017 or so, I've been leading ISBM. And prior to that, when I was at Lord Corporation, I was the liaison between Lord Corporation and ISBM. So I've been part of ISBM for quite a while. Background in engineering, then moving into marketing. Rand Mendez is my partner, and Rand, you will find talking to you all the time about member services and things that we need to do to help you. Rand comes to us from DuPont, also has had a long experience with ISBM before joining us formally. Becky Williams is with us for curriculum, and she has been developing the curriculum I'll talk about briefly in a few minutes. She came to us from Lord Corporation. She was a colleague of mine and retired from there and joined us to help work on our curriculum. And then Ralph Oliva, if you've been with us for more than a few years, you remember that Ralph has been running it for decades, and Ralph is still with us as an emeritus advisor, and we rely on him heavily to keep continuity. On the academic side, we have Stefan Wutz, Stefan does all of the research side now and directs it. Gary Lillian was his predecessor. He's the emeritus director of research. And Lori Nicolini, that's her picture there. Lori makes sure everything happens. She's the one that knows everything. Thank you, Lori, for everything you do. Just want to talk a little bit about our value. If you're joining us and not a member, we hope that you'll continue to check us out and join, but we provide personal and individual networking, development individually. We have meetings that allow you to network and connect with others. We have a curriculum that offers in-house courses as well as open courses. We help folks create operational excellence in marketing. So we can talk to you about that. There's a lot of continuous learning that we provide on a near daily basis. We have webinar series, town halls, a newsletter that goes out weekly, and our curated content on B2B Pulse. And then the one thing that we really hear from you enough.
Can I butt in a second about
yeah, absolutely, Rand.
On something you said? Yeah, that for the non-members, you mentioned the non-members in the meeting. I just want to make it clear to everybody that this is a members-only meeting. Like we do at many of our members-only meetings, we usually have one or two, and we do today also, new member prospects who are observing what our member meetings are all about. But this is a members-only meeting.
Thanks, Rand. Yes, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. That you're exactly right. I also feel like sometimes we have some employees from companies who are members who have never been to a meeting before and maybe don't know about all the resources. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that if your company has joined ISBM, then by virtue of that, you're a member of ISBM. And you have access to all of this, including that last line on there, which is the B2B advisory service. You can pick up the phone or drop us an email and ask us a question. We'll put you together with a thought leader, the person who might know the answer, someone who can connect you to something. And all of that is part of what you pay for. So until you get into hours and hours of consulting time, that's for free. So feel free to reach out to us and we'll help. The other place you can go for everything we do is isbm.com. So feel free to navigate there. If you registered for this, you figured that out. So that's great. But you'll find that that's updated frequently and you'll find all of our events there. And through the library, you can get to B2B Pulse and all of our services. I'm just going to click through quickly on the curriculum here, but I just wanted to remind you that our courses have all been updated and now they are provided completely virtually online. So no physical meetings are necessary to attend our courses, and we can run these courses as we did for a few companies over the last month around the world simultaneously. So one of our last courses that we did ran from central time zone of the US to the time zone of China, simultaneously teaching and pricing over 3 weeks. What's next? Rand alluded to this earlier. On October 6th, we have Robert Fry, and you won't want to miss that. October 7th, we have Amy Belliette, who teaches how to communicate visually. And I think if any of you are involved in UI UX, you're going to want to see Amy, so sign up for that one. And then on October 15th, we get to talk about the interaction field, which is a new view from Eric Jochimstaller. Eric is one of our fellows. He's just released a new book and he's going to take some questions there from me. And then I'll invite you to get and look at the library and the weekly happenings. You should be receiving a weekly happenings. We have been discovering over time that our happenings emails might end up in people's junk mail. So we're going to be checking over the next few months that you're all able to see our emails. If you get a message from us that says, please respond if you saw this, it would help us greatly to know that we're communicating with you. We also participate in LinkedIn, and if you're not following us on LinkedIn, you might find useful content there. So now I'm going to pause for just a second because hopefully we've got most of the people in. I'm not watching Lori, but I'm thinking we're okay, right? So I'm going to move into the content. So let me talk a little bit about how exactly we got to this topic area, right? So this is